Okay, I don't know how long I've been talking into this thing without it being on, but anyway, I was talking for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I don't know if any of it recorded, so to give you the short version, beautiful temperatures. High today was about 85. Tied a record in Tampa. Just absolutely beautiful right now. There's a nice breeze right now. And so yeah, and I was just saying that old Fancy Nancy brought her articles of impeachment over to the Senate in her effort to destroy the Constitution and the President. Drunken Nancy, she something else. She's a real winner. Hopefully every single Democrat will get elected out of office. And there's always hope anyway. Hi, Shadow, let's go. Shadow. Alright. Just passing a small dog. He has a thing with small dogs. He likes to harass them or whatever. Anyway, the big news today was President Trump signed the trade deal with China, and as I was saying, this deal here, some of the tariffs were lifted, but if China goes back on the deal, tariffs go right back into place, so that's a good deal. Unlike the Obama deal with Iran, where they get to build their bombs and we give them a few $1 billion. So, yeah, that's going to be good news for the economy. And, well, the Democrats are trying to destroy the country. President Trump is, I don't have my MAGA hat on right now, but President Trump truly has made this country great again. The economy, just pride in the country, in the military. Let's go. And coming up on the, let's go. Coming up on the dog park here. And I know some of my conservative friends don't like Trump's way of dealing with the trade, especially with China, and I don't think they really understand how and why Trump is doing what he's doing, because for years, under both parties, Republicans and Democrats, this country has been getting a royal screwing from countries like China. And President Trump's putting an end to that. And it's great. I think it is anyway. And this deal that he got with China just goes to show you that he knows what he's doing. And I'm glad we got a president that loves this country and wants us to be the leader in the economy and everything else. Then you got these Democrats out here that they just want to destroy this country, this Constitution, this impeachment sham, and Yeah, I'm mad at the Democrats, but you Republicans, you're just as bad as the Democrats. And let me tell you something. Mitt Romney, Susan Collins, a few others that didn't support dismissing these charges, you need to be voted out of office. You need to be primaried and get kicked out. And as far as Collins is concerned, I really... Alright, I'm back. I won't use the last part of the video. The last part of the video I did was just me picking up my dog's poopies. But it's fitting for how I feel with these Republicans. As I mentioned during the end of the last video that I'll post, you got chicken shits like Mitt Romney and Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski and Lamar Alexander and a few others that they need to be kicked out of office. They need to find another job. They need to be primaried. In the case of Susan Collins, as far as I'm concerned, that woman that's running against her, her name escapes me right now, but she's the Speaker of the House in Maine. She's a disaster, total communist Democrat. Which, I mean, let's face it, all the Democrats are communist, and it looks like quite a few Republicans are too. And you know, it's time to give them the AOC treatment. If these Republicans like Romney, who I am ashamed to admit that I voted for, if they don't want to support our president, and more importantly, if they don't want to support the Constitution of the United States, then they can get bent and get out of office. And, you know, these people are supposed to, their oath of office is support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And there's nothing in the Constitution about impeaching a president because he hurt your feelings and because he beat you in 2016 and most likely is going to beat you again in 2020. And as even some Democrats have said, this is what this impeachment is all about. They know they can't beat him in 2020. Who's going to win? Joe Biden? A guy who can't even make a complete sentence? Communist Bernie? Who he wants to put all Trump supporters in concentration camps? Oh yeah, Liz Warren, the fake Indian. Yeah, she's good. Yeah. Then you got that Buttigieg, who's a lightweight. You know, he ain't doing nothing. You know, the only reason he's in getting anything above 1% is because he's a homosexual. I mean, what has he done? His city is a disaster, like all metro cities run by Democrats. You know, they're all... I didn't even watch the debate because it's just a rerun from all the other debates about who can be the most communist of all of them. And, I mean, this is going to be a Trump landslide of... I say there's an outside shot that Trump wins 40 out of 50 states. And, you know, as much as I hated Hillary, at least she was a formidable opponent. These lightweights they got running against Trump this year, I don't know where they get them from. I mean, they're all, you know, they've all been in office for 30 years and talking about how Trump is the problem. How is Trump the problem when they've been in office 30 years and created all the problems that they're whining about? I mean, come on. The economy is better than it's ever been before under Trump. And, you know, but, you know, we all know what the Democrats are. But my problem here is the Republicans. I mean, you got Mumbles Mitch, as I call him. By not dismissing these charges of impeachment, he's given legitimacy to them. When they have none, there's no constitutional grounds for these impeachment articles. And then they get for the House, what do they call them? Not witnesses, but managers that are coming over to present the case. They got Pencil Neck Schiff and Sleepy Nadler. These people should be witnesses being called by the Republicans for their corruption in this whole thing. They should be barred from being managers because they're witnesses to this whole charade. I mean, come on. What kind of bullshit is this? Excuse my language, but it is what it is, you know. The Democrats are one thing, but you got these idiot Republicans that are going along with the whole thing. And, you know, old Mittens Romney and Susan Colitis, that's what I call her. She used to be my senator, and I'm glad she's not anymore, because she's a disaster. And, you know, Lamar Alexander and the other woman there from Alaska, Murkowski, she's useless like they all are. And I guess I almost included Rand Paul in that, but Mark Levin pointed out, the great one, Mark Levin pointed out that, that Rand Paul, he only is in favor of calling witnesses if the Democrats call witnesses. So he doesn't want witnesses, but he's saying, you know, if the Democrats are going to be able to call their witnesses, then by God, we should be able to call our witnesses, like Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and the Schiff Show, and what's his name, Sleepy Nadler. So that's where I stand on that. And you know, I think most people know what disaster the Democrats are, but you know, that doesn't excuse the Republicans for going through this, and that's why that doesn't excuse the Republicans for supporting this charade. And I know, let's go. Mark Levin was saying, and I totally agree with him, that the next time a Democrat becomes president and we have a majority in the House, then by gosh, we need to draft articles of impeachment immediately. Sprinklers just turned on. It's not going to make him happy. Come on, you're all right. So, yeah, we need to, as soon as the election happens, as soon as it's confirmed that a Democrat has won the presidency and Republicans have the House, they need to immediately draft articles of impeachment against the Democrats. And just make up a reason. I mean, that's what's happening here, you know. Obstruction of Congress. All right, yeah. The Democrats have been obstructing Congress ever since they've been in office. Ever since Trump's been in office, the Democrats have been obstructing him. So, it's time to play tit for tat. That's the only way this is going to stop. Because, and I know we're not like that. We're Republicans, and we don't play by their games. Well, why not? This isn't just politics. This is war. The Democrats have declared war on our Constitution. And there's only one way to fight back, and it's to play their dirty games. So enough of this, we're not like that. We gotta be like that. And that's the only way this is gonna stop. Some people might bring up Clinton, but you're forgetting, Clinton actually broke the law. He actually obstructed justice. He actually lied under oath. Because of his lies, rape charges, sexual assault charges were dismissed against multiple accusers of Bill Clinton. And that's what makes what Bill Clinton did bad. It wasn't that he had a BJ in office. It wasn't that he was doing interns. It was that he obstructed justice and lied under oath. He lost his law license for that, too. If somebody can tell me an actual crime that President Trump has committed, and no, obstruction of Congress, and whatever this horse manure charge, the other charge, I forget what it was, but it was another non-crime. It wasn't even a real crime. Abuse of power. Abuse of power. You could say every president, you could make the case, Democrat, Republican, whatever. Every president, you could say, has abused his power in your opinion. These are opinion things, not facts of law. And this is what makes it a joke, an absolute joke. And that's why I say, if we ever get a Democrat president with a Republican House, start the impeachment trial, start the charges. You got a couple of go-to ones there, obstruction of Congress, and obstruction of Congress and abuse of power, because and it doesn't matter, because by the time they get a chance to vote on something, like the Democrats waited for like 3 years for Trump. So in that time, you can find something, that's basically what all this is anyway, is, hey, just find an issue and fake it till you make it. And Mumbles Mitch, Cocaine Mitch, I guess another nickname for him, he's got the perfect reason to just dismiss all these things. All he's got to do is say that Pelosi waited too long to transmit the articles to the Senate, so therefore they're null and void. That's as much as a good reason as it was to impeach him in the first place. Come on. I'm getting on my soapbox here. And, this isn't just about Trump, This is about the Constitution. This is about Trump supporters. Because, like I said earlier, Bernie Sanders, he wants to put Trump supporters in concentration camps because we're quote-unquote Nazis. Does that sound familiar? That's what Antifa says we are. So, you get Bernie Sanders in, and he has as good a chance as anybody to be the nominee for the Democrats. Because I don't see Lizzie Warren just made her bed and gonna lie in it. That's another thing. I don't like Bernie Sanders. I can't stand Bernie Sanders. but he doesn't strike me as a liar. He's just got his philosophy, of socialism, communism, and he's just wrong, but he believes in what he's saying. He's not a liar. He believes 100% in what he's doing. He's just wrong. Elizabeth Warren, she's just a liar. She lied about being an Indian. She lied about her father being a janitor. She lied about getting fired for being pregnant. I mean, her whole existence has been a lie. And so when it comes to who said what, whether Bernie's saying, he never said that a woman couldn't be president, and Hiawatha is saying that Bernie said a woman couldn't be president. I'm taking Bernie Sanders' side on that. And another one of his supporters, Bernie's supporters, said that if Bernie doesn't get the nomination, where is it, Minneapolis or wherever the Democrat convention is, there's going to be blood in the streets. That's if he doesn't get the nomination. What are they going to do if he does get the nomination? Or what are they going to do when Trump kicks his butt in the general election? They're going to start shooting at us, Trump supporters. Not that I'm worried about it, because I pack heat wherever I go, so I shoot back. You might get me, but I'm going to take a few of you down with me, so game on, brother. You want the Civil War, you're going to get it, and you're going to find you ain't going to like the way it ends. Because I'll tell you, maybe not all, but most conservatives, most Trump supporters, we don't just own guns, we don't just carry guns, we know how to use our guns. We know how to hit a target, we practice with our guns. And a bunch of beta males that hate guns really don't scare me. So I gotta say, do what you gotta do, Bernie Bros, because it'll be ugly. And but then you got Spartacus dropped out. That's a big surprise. He was at about 1%. Kamala Harris, she was gone a while ago, and she never had a chance either. None of these clowns have a chance, but they got a rabid support base and a violent support base. We've seen it with Antifa. See, the thing with these groups like Antifa is they're all big and bold and brave in these countries like states like Washington and California, and places where you can't carry concealed weapons. You don't hear about this stuff happening in states like Maine and Florida, and even crazy Bernie state in Vermont. They like their guns there, and you don't hear about it there either. Anyway, the southern part of Maine is leftist area. I know because I was there. I lived there for 20 years. But there's still a lot of people there that love their guns. And and people carry there. They got constitutional carry, which is a step better than Florida. Florida's got its good side. That basically, if you get your concealed carry permit, if somebody messes with you, you can shoot them here. In Maine, you have a duty to retreat. Here, somebody comes into your house, or tries to attack you or something. You don't have to give them a warning like you do in Maine. You can just shoot them. And I'm not just saying that just because I want to shoot somebody. It's just, it's a strong castle doctrine and stand your ground. And that's the way it should be throughout the country. If somebody's going to come up to you, like I was reading just in Portland yesterday, I think it was, some woman was attacked in the Old Port. Luckily she survived, and it doesn't seem like she was hurt. She was treated on scene, they said, so luckily, it doesn't sound like it was too bad, but, if you live in a state like Maine, you don't need a permit. If you're legally allowed to carry a firearm, you can go get yourself a firearm and carry concealed. And I recommend, especially women, but everybody, better do that. Because there's a lot of nut jobs. And, I love Florida. I love this state. I'm happier than I've ever been since I moved down here. But there's a lot of nut jobs and violent nut jobs in this state. And, I live in a pretty decent area from what I can see. But that doesn't mean we're immune from crime. I mean, crime can happen everywhere. I can be at the gas station and somebody try to carjack me. I mean, it's happened. Not to me, but I mean, stuff like that's happened around here. So you got to be prepared. You see me when I'm walking, I'm always looking around. Even when I'm doing these videos, I keep track of my surroundings. And, that's, even that woman that was attacked in Portland, she was aware of her surroundings. She knew the guy was following her. She started speeding up, and this guy sped up, and when she started running, that's when he attacked her. And so you can do everything right and still be a victim, but change that scenario around. If that guy had a gun, she wouldn't stand a chance. If that guy wanted to kick her ass, she wouldn't stand a chance. Now, imagine if she had a concealed carry. Now she knows that the guy's following her. She just lifts up her shirt and pulls out her firearm and confronts the guy. 90% chance, probably a little more than 90%, he's going to take off. You present a gun to somebody and they're not going to stick around to find out if you're going to use it. And, that's what you got to think of today, because, it's, it'd be nice if people didn't attack people. It would be nice if everybody obeyed the laws, but that's not the world we live in today. And I'm sorry to say it, but it's not. And so you got to always be prepared, always be aware of your surroundings. If you're out, put your phone down. I know I'm carrying mine doing the video, but that's, I'm still looking around and aware of my surroundings. So, just no matter where you live, even if you live somewhere where there's hardly any crime like Maine, crime can happen anywhere. So, be cautious. Get yourself a firearm, train with the firearm, because it's one thing to have a firearm, it's another thing to learn how to know how to use it, because, if you got a firearm but can't get it out of your holster, it ain't going to do you any good. So, having a firearm is part of the battle, but knowing how to use it is the most important part of that battle. And I'm arriving at home now, so I will thank you all for watching, and have a good night. God bless you and stay safe. Hit like and subscribe. I love you all. Bye.